Oh, hello, I'm Cosmic Jack. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh my goodness. The last month has been catalyzing, to say the least. I don't know about you, but if you met me before, no, you did not. Like, hi, how you doing? I'm Jack, nice to meet you. Like, I'm a completely different person than I was 1 month ago. It's so wild. So many things have happened. And now, like, the astrology is going to continue to support us in, like, revolutionizing this new identity, which is what this full moon in Aries is all about. So we had the eclipses, of course. We had Pluto station direct, and now we have this powerfully activating, intense, emotional full moon in Aries. There is a major grand cross happening in this chart, which is crazy, and I'm laughing to myself because I'm like, this is actually my like solar return chart that I have to take with me for the whole year, because which I'm laughing about. I'm like, it's going to be an interesting year. If you don't know what a solar return chart is, it's a chart when the sun goes back to the exact degree of when you were born. So if you're born at 24 degrees of Libra, like this eclipse is, or sorry, not this eclipse, this full moon is, it's like that would be your solar return chart. So my solar return chart is actually, it's 25 degrees when my sun is at 25, but this is like the energy that I'm taking into the year. So it's going to be very interesting. So cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, I just spit everywhere. Capricorn, we are going to be feeling the burn and the churn of this full moon. Everyone, of course, will be feeling it, but there is a grand cross between the sun and Libra that is opposing this full moon at 24 Aries, which is conjunct Chiron, by the way. And then they are square Mars in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn, which, yes, that means that Mars and Pluto are opposing each other. And then we have Venus opposite Uranus, just to spice things up. So if you are like, relationship energy is going to be, people are going to be like popping off emotionally. Make sure you understand that the energy is going to feel intense and sticky and like really can churn up a lot of feelings and emotions. And Aries, we've been working on our Aries identity for about 1.5 years now. If you can rewind to April 20th, 2023, this is when we started our Aries identity. We had an eclipse here at 29 degrees of Aries. And this is really was the catalyst for you to transform how you see and view yourself. That is what an identity is. Aries is the I. And so you've had to completely shift the relationship that you have with yourself since then. And that has required you to look at your one-on-one relationships, because this is the number one place we get disempowered, is relationships, and where we're out of alignment and we're not true to ourselves and where we're inauthentic because we are relating to one another through our attachment patterns and needing to get our emotional needs met. And so Aries is just being like, no, I'm fully sovereign, I'm confident, I got myself, and I'm just doing my thing, and I'm authentic, and I'm confident and bravely and boldly and unabashedly, just like myself, and putting myself out there, and just doing me. It's 2:22 on the clock as I say that. And anyone who aligns with that, like, you're welcome to come join me, but like, I'm just gonna do me, and don't bother me if you're not on board with who I am at my core. And that is really confronting for Libras, right? South Node is in Libra. So anywhere where we haven't been able to be truly authentic in relationships have got to go. anywhere we're codependent, where we're people pleasing, where we lack boundaries, any of those sorts of relationships have had to be removed. And so this full moon in Aries is really being like, okay, like, did you learn? Did you put yourself first? Did you fixate on yourself? How do you see and view yourself? What are your beliefs? What are your self-concepts about you? Because you really cannot out-manifest who you believe yourself to be. And I want you all to like sink into that. So what would you have to believe about yourself? How would you have to behave to be in alignment with the identity of the version of you that has everything, that has it, right? And Aries is then about just putting down your head and going for it, right? And so Aries is, when it comes to this energy, it's about looking at your Mars, because Mars is the ruler of Aries. And so for me, like I have Mars square Chiron in my chart. I've had to do a lot of healing around my masculine energy. I was born with that wound in my birth chart. But through learning what that expressed and how that meant in my life, I'm able to heal it for myself and turn that weakness into a strength, which is what Chiron is about. And I bring that up because this full moon is conjunct Chiron. And if you remember all the way back in April when we had that solar eclipse where everyone had their goggles on, looking at the moon. People don't believe in astrology, but they'll put on the fucking like goggles and go stare at the eclipse and think we're not affected. Okay, just kidding. But like, you know, that was an epic total solar eclipse on April 8th of this year. It was at 19 degrees of Aries. So this full moon is happening at 24 degrees of Aries, and this full moon is also again conjunct Chiron. So what have you moved through since April, since that solar eclipse, in terms of your identity? How you see yourself, how you view yourself, your beliefs, your thoughts, your behaviors, your patterns, right? And so when you're looking to heal and integrate this in yourself and assert yourself and who you are being, right? Because who you be is what you have. That's what a behavior is looking at your Mars. His Mars is your masculine expression. It is how you assert yourself. It is how you lead yourself. It is how you take action. It is your confidence, right? It is your vigor. It is your passion. And Aries is very instinctive and independent. It is focused on oneself. So if you are to fully prioritize yourself and weren't looking to meet anyone else's needs or look to meet your needs in relation with anyone else, and you had the confidence and the courage and the vigor and the tenacity to trust yourself, who would you be? Who would you be, right? And can you tend to that tender part of you that needs that self-reassurance, needs that self-nurturance, right? That needs to feel taken care of. Because when you can do that for yourself, it's like then the world just opens up for you because you're no longer relating to people from a place of like needing something because you're fully sovereign, right? That's what it means to be empowered, right? And then you have full freedom and agency to choose what serves you, what's good for you. You align with other people who are super authentic. You align with other people who have strong boundaries. You align with other people who elevate you. You're not doing all the emotional and hard work and labor for other people anymore, right? You have people that rocket launch you, that activate you, that support you. And it's a totally different way of relating. And so this full moon is kind of like showing you what has transpired since 6 months ago with that eclipse, that new moon eclipse in Aries, being like, okay, like you took action to integrate this new identity, and now here's the manifestation point. Confirmation burp. Confirmation burp. And in contrast, it is showing you what you needed to release 6 months ago that you weren't paying attention to, right? And this is going to manifest within relationships, because one, we're in Libra season, the South Node is in Libra. And we also have Venus opposing Uranus, right? That's like, well, expect the freaking unexpected when it comes to relationships. And then the ruler of this full moon, Mars, is opposing Pluto. So this is going to, I just really believe, surface a lot of visceral, emotional survival patterns. Venus is in Scorpio at the 29th degree, opposing Uranus in Taurus, which is kind of about survival. It's like kind of like the survivalistic axis, if you will. And then we have Mars in Cancer that is super reactive and impulsive when it comes to how it feels emotionally, opposing Pluto in Capricorn, who is here to revolutionize how you show up and support yourself, right? So, ay caramba, it's kind of this explosion, my air conditioner just went on. It's an emotional explosion. Because Aries moons are hot fucking headed. Mars in Cancer is hot fucking headed. Emotionally hot headed. Like it's like emotional response. Conjunct Chiron, healing. So, pay attention to your relationships. Pay attention to your emotional responses. Pay attention to when you have boundaries, how people respond to your boundaries. Because now the universe is giving you an opportunity to integrate your new identity. So much was catalyzed and internally churned the past month. Eclipse season was so freaking next level powerful. It was showing you where you're out of alignment. It was showing you what you had to integrate. You had to pass some tests, right? Things had to fall off. And now this full moon is being like, okay, like there's gonna be some emotional triggers happening. Can you respond from your new identity? Trust yourself to support yourself. Trust yourself, you got this. Trust yourself to have your own back. Trust yourself to affirm the boundary. Trust yourself to hold your energy, right? Because that's the real freaking test. When the same pattern pops back up, I'm getting chills. Can you not conform and mold back into who you were? That's like the South Node in Libra. That's what we're releasing, right? Libras can mold and fold themselves for other people. And Aries is like, no. No. This is me. If you align with me, great. If you respect my boundaries, great. If not, see ya fucking later. Because I promise you, when you assert yourself and you have boundaries in new ways, a lot of people will fall off. That doesn't mean, though, that the connection always has to just completely sever. It's just like there's a recalibration period, and then you have to adjust to the new energy, right? So that can look like showing up with family differently, showing up with your partner differently, showing up with your bestie differently. But it's like you're showing up to life and your relationships from this new integrated Aries identity. How you see and view yourself. You can also look to your sun sign for your own personal identity. How are you meant to exude? How are you meant to express? What's the energy that you're here to embody, right? My 25-degree sun is in the 9th house of Libra. I work one-on-one with people. I work relationally, right? Like my business really is a relational business. I help people transform their relational patterns, right? And then 9th house, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher, I'm a preacher, I'm an explorer, right? I'm here to expand your fucking beliefs. So look to your own specific sun for how you are meant to identify. Right? And then look to your Mars for how you live and act it out. Air conditioner just went off. And can you trust yourself to show up for yourself no matter fucking what is going on? Because Mars opposing Pluto can be really survivalistic. It can be really impassioned. It can be really obsessive compulsive. Like, I feel like I'm going to die if I don't do this. But how can you channel that virility for your empowerment, right? Mars opposing Uranus, Mars opposing Pluto aspects, or just I should say Mars Pluto aspects. This is like professional athlete, right? They work in professional sports. Mars, Pluto, they have to be so obsessive with their sport to be good at it. Have to. It's their whole life. They have to be obsessed. Obsessed or nothing, right? So it's like if you're not passionate about what you're doing, what are we even doing? I keep wanting, they're telling me to talk about Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe Bryant, Venus conjunct Mars conjunct Pluto, right? You can, the Mamba mentality. Are you viscerally obsessed with what you're doing? Right? Are you viscerally obsessed with the people you're in relationship with? Both the bad and the good, right? You should want to be around the people you're in relationship with. The people you're in relationship with should accelerate and expand you also. They should elevate you. So are you in relationships that are supporting your powerful self? Because again, you will keep yourself disempowered for other people. This goes back to just childhood, of where we shrunk to relate and to get our survival needs met, our emotional needs met. And so that's why you have to untangle and transform this part of yourself so that you can be good and solid and Gucci with you. And then you can relate to others from a totally different place, which place of empowerment, right? There's going to be a lot of unexpected energy. Venus opposing Uranus. It's going to be hot. It's going to be intense. It's going to be emotional. But how can you alchemize all of these emotions for your empowerment? Because this is how you actually alchemize a transformation. It's like, I was this person. I had to move through the fears. Pluto's going to surface some fucking fears. And then transform and alchemize it and turn it into a power, turn it into a strength. Because most people will feel the trigger and they'll feel the response, but then they don't know how to anchor it in. Confirmation, right? They feel the emotion and then they go back. And then something will happen where they're making progress, and then they get lost in the emotion again in the chaos of creation, and then they go back. And it's like then they're fully not ever anchoring into what they want because they don't know how that transformational process looks like. Your emotions are actually the key to having everything that you want. And Pluto deconstructs to reconstruct. You have to unravel to re-ravel, and that process is really painful, right? It's like, imagine trying to knit a sweater but never unraveling the yarn. You just can't do it, right? You want to unravel the yarn to then turn it into something beautiful, right? Or the thread. You got to untangle the thread to then make it into art, your creation. I have chills as I say that. But then people, they unravel and it feels unsafe and unsecure and unstable. and then they just want to get rewound back up. And it's like you're not actually making the change and anchoring in your next level place of empowerment. So this full moon this week is really, you're going to feel what this Pluto in Capricorn is about, because that's what Capricorn does. Capricorn has the capacity to hold all of the emotions. It has the capacity to swim the depths of the ocean and also climb the highest peak. That is why Capricorns are built for success. They know how to emotionally regulate and not get caught in the ocean, right? So they have a huge capacity to have and hold what they want. They have a huge capacity to hold success. They have a huge capacity to hold emotions. Capricorns are the most supportive people I know. So supportive, right? Because they have that bandwidth to support, right? You need support to get to the top, right? You think Kobe Bryant didn't have 1 million people supporting him in his mission? No, millions of people. I don't know if millions, but you know, they spend millions of dollars on their bodies, right? Money's a supportive energy. People to support him. So what is your relationship with support, and how do you support yourself? Because let me tell you, when I feel supported and I feel secure and I have a plan, it's just like, I'm supported and there's the plan, right? And the other thing I want to say is, where are you only allowing yourself to move linearly and not quantumly? Because Capricorn's trajectory of success is like this. And so many people approach success like they're just hopping to the next one. When it's like, no, if you actually just aimed bigger, you'd get there a lot quicker. Because then it's like, so if you aimed up here and you made it here, it's like everything just trickles down, right? All the success just trickles down, instead of, it's a lot harder to just do this, or it's a lot easier actually to just walk this line, but you're not getting the quantum results by aiming linearly. Capricorn does this. This is the growth trajectory. Do you see my goosebumps on my arm? So where do you got to set bigger goals? To quantum leap you. And not approach growth linearly. Right? Because Capricorn can hang out down here at the elbow, and it can hang out at here at the top. It can hold both, right? That's how expansion works. It's like you can hold the capacity for the totality of the experience. And they have the masculine kind of structure in container to soften the feminine. There's one thing I've learned this year, is how the masculine support allows the feminine to heal and soften and transform. And it doesn't take long. When you have support, and you have that safety of masculine energy, who's got you, has unrelenting support. Support more than you could ever imagine. Your wish is my command support. Watch how fast you catalyze. Because someone can, one, emotionally hold you, but also support you. And this is what Pluto in Capricorn wants you to do for yourself, right? People with strong Capricorn, these are like the businessmen, these are like the entrepreneurs. It's like, why do you think entrepreneurs can make so much money? Because they can hold it all. Hello. Like having your own business is like the best spiritual assignment of all time, because you have to go through the emotions to have the success, right? You have to go through those growing pains to be able to hold it all, right? There's like a statistic that like 8% of entrepreneurs are successful, and it's like, yeah, those 8% of entrepreneurs know how to emotionally hold themselves. They know how to emotionally regulate their nervous systems. They have emotional maturity, right? Because you can't be having a 5-year-old running your $1 million business. And this is what people need to learn how to do for themselves, and you will be quantumly successful. This is what this full moon is kicking off. This is what Pluto in Capricorn wants you getting serious about, being the boss. Mars in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn. It's like you actually have to check yourself emotionally. How I do this for myself is I'll be like, let myself cry about it for a minute, right? Emotions take 90 seconds. And then I realize it's just my inner child like wanting something from me. And I'm like, all right, girl, cry it out. And then I check her ass and I'm like, just knock it off, right? Knock it off. And you would be surprised how quick you soften into yourself. Knock it off, Jacqueline. I got it. I got you. You're taken care of. You're supported. And then it's just like, oh, okay. Thank you. It feels so nice to be taken care of. And then you use your masculine to go take action and prove to yourself that you've got it. The Aries, self-trust, self-leadership, right? Leading yourself to your goals and untangling those emotional patterns and those relational patterns. So, promise you, if you do this work, you will quantum leap your life, truly. And if you want support doing this, I am launching a new masterclass called PLUTONIC, all about teaching you how to be your own daddy and heal that masculine structure authority wound so that you can emotionally regulate, you can meet your own safety needs, you can reclaim your power, you can be your own daddy, right? Capricorn is like grandfather energy, like the person that has all of the success and the goals and ambitions and achievements and abundance and wealth and legacy to like heal an entire generation, right? That one of my first spiritual teachers taught me. She was like, sometimes the most spiritual thing you can ever do is make a lot of money, because it allows you to heal generations. If you're wealthy, that will heal your lineage, your DNA. Because it's like you actually can get out of survival. Like I grew up in Microsoft land. I grew up with like sons of like billionaires, sons and daughters of billionaires. And I promise you they were not growing up in scarcity and survival. Doesn't mean they knew how to meet their emotional needs, but they were not growing up in scarcity and survival, right? And so that's what the power of you anchoring in masculine energy is for yourself, to hold the emotional space so that you can have the ultimate success. Because again, you need both. You need to be able to hold the totality of the experience, right? The emotional container with the upward trajectory of success. They're two sides of the same coin. Like using my arms a lot. The Gemini moon is like, Gemini is like the arms and hands, baby. So I'm like, my Gemini moon is Gemini. But I hope that illustrates for you kind of the energy. So if you would like to go on the 6-week journey of learning to integrate your own grandfather energy, of learning to have that masculine container for yourself, to hold yourself emotionally, to support yourself, both physically, emotionally, financially, with your success, with your business. Integrate that masculine. Join PLUTONIC. It's going to be so good. It's a 6-week container to support you in closing out Pluto and Capricorn as your daddy. You can also take a reclamation of power that is included with PLUTONIC, which is a 4-day masterclass teaching you how to reclaim your power as the authority of your life. That is what Capricorn is about, the authority. And if you think about it, it goes back to childhood, because who was your first authority, right? Your family, your caretakers, your loved ones, because you were born emotionally needy and couldn't take care of yourself, and you outsource your emotional needs to others, and then you also you also don't have the same authentic expression because your authenticity was stifled and closed and contracted and restricted because you had to get your needs met. And so that masterclass teaches you how to untangle everything. But Plutonic is essentially taking those same concepts and then we're actually doing it together to transform together. So come get support as you alchemize this for yourself. It's going to be epic. It's going to be huge. And I can't wait to support you. So sending so much love. Happy full moon. Of course, you can also book a session. I'll post all of the links below if you want to know how this full moon is personally impacting and influencing you, so that you can leverage it for success and really get clear on your direction, what you got to do, and really have it specific and attuned to your own energy. Def book a session. Cardinal signs, love you. I'm with you. All my cardinal aspects are getting lit up. So sending you so much love and happy full moon.